I'd like to call the Special Public Works and Infrastructure Committee
5:13.
at 5:13, Monday, March 2nd.
Welcome.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Bolton. Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Taylor.
Present.
Minutes.
I'd like to have an approval of minutes.
Read this.
Motion to approve the Public Works Committee minutes of September 16th, 2019 as presented.
So moved.
Motion by
Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by
Turner.
Alderman Turner.
Any questions on the motion?
Any questions on the motion?
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Audience,
Audience time, would anybody like to make any comments
on what's on the agenda?
on the present agenda? No? Okay.
Business, none.
Old business, none.
Business,
New business? None.
reports, reports and communication.
Reports and communication. Okay.
All right, part of the reason we're here this evening and having a special call meeting is to announce that we have received a free trees for Waukegan. We considered this, we needed to name it, so we came up with the Operation Greenscape, pardon me. And what that boils down to basically is we will be receiving 100 trees to plant on private property. Public Works they'll have to sign waivers. We have like a little contract they'll have to sign. And the aldermen will get locations for the aldermen for the 100 trees. All right, and what'll end up happening is we'll be getting those probably starting next fall, 50 of them, and then the following spring, the remainder of them for the 100 trees. And the other portion that we're here to discuss this evening as well is what we would consider, pardon me as I read, my eye doesn't favor me as much as my mouth, so I will read it. The City of Waukegan is pleased to support Open Lands and key partners, the Morton Arboretum, the Chicago Regional Tree Initiative, to plant 150 native trees on public and private property through funding from the U.S. Forestry Service. 50 trees will be planted on public property and the remainder planted on 100 private properties, with landowners learning how to properly plant and care for the trees so they may thrive and reward the city residents with many long-lasting benefits. Clearview Elementary School has committed to take care of 3 trees. Public Works will help plant these 3 trees at Clearview School on Friday, April 25th at 10 a.m. Anybody is welcome to attend. They have arranged to water the trees and take care of them because under this contract or the agreement is whoever gets them has to take care of them so they thrive. All right. Open Lands will provide presentation on tree planting and care at the Public Works Building at 10 a.m. on either Monday, March 23rd or Monday, March 30th. The presentation will be indoors and about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, allowing for discussion and questioning. What we're going to do is we're going to have our Public Works guys that are going to be doing the work there. The aldermen are welcome, and if you have some residents that would like to partake to learn how to plant the trees, more than welcome. The Arboretum is very, very happy to do this with us. The 50 municipal trees is expected to arrive at Public Works facility on Wednesday, April 1st. Open Land staff will inspect the trees and at delivery time for quality control. Immediately following the delivery, one of the trees will be planted at Public Works. We're going to determine someplace probably out by our sign, and weather is conducive. We will be planting the first on April 1st and for a rain date of April 3rd. The location of where the remaining trees will be planted is due to no later than Tuesday, March 10th. What I'm asking the aldermen Each ward will have 5 trees planted on public property, like on the right-of-ways where we've taken down trees, okay? So each one of you will get 5 trees, all right? And what we're looking to do is, I would like to have, I'm going to go off the script here a little bit. What I'd like for everybody to do is give me 10 locations, all right? The reason I say that is because we're looking at what's underground as well when we plant these. If we have sewer lines, storm drain, water, other places where it might be impacted, electrical, we're probably going to want to avoid them. So by giving me 10 locations, I think we should have at least 5 that we can find a place to plant for you, okay? So you start making the list. We would like to have that list no later than March 10th. So you can email Public Works, hand deliver it, whatever you want to do. And what we'll end up doing then, the remainder of the 100 trees will be planted in private properties later on, like I say, probably April. We're trying to do this, and the nice part about planting these on the right-of-way now, if we get them planted early, they have all summer. You know, in the spring you get rain, the nourishment they need, and then next fall, we'll plant another 50 trees on the private properties. We'll get together with each alderman. There may be some locations, I'm talking with the Arboretum. They will also like to go at the site to determine which trees. I've given you a list of trees that they're looking to buy, and some trees are going to be more favorable in certain areas than others. So this is a fabulous program. It costs us nothing other than Public Works time, and actually for us to put these on the right-of-way in April is a good time because we're kind of running out of budget anyways until May 1st. So it gives us that time to plant these and go through, and yeah, I'm excited about it. It's really, you know, the training is a positive. I mean, how many people really know how to plant a tree? I mean, I've planted things all my life, and I was a little interested in some of the things I've done. Probably it wasn't as proper as it should have been. So, any questions on that? Yes.
I don't have so much of a question as I know I have had many requests from the 9th Ward that, you know, we were one of the last ones that had some of the ash trees taken down, and we have a lot of open spaces on the right-of-ways. And I know you and I have talked about other programs that they've had where it's like a 50-50 contribution, and it's sometimes hard to get those programs going. So I, for one, am really excited about this because we need all the greenery that we can get at this point. I have some subdivisions that are very stark, and this will certainly help, and hopefully we can keep this going over the years, and it'll help our community enormously. So thank you.
Well, I think on this I've been working on for almost 2 years now, and this is a good start. I think once we open the door and we can get things moving in the right direction, this is a big positive for us because we have lost a lot of trees.
We have lost a lot.
Any other questions? So remember to get at least 10 locations to me by the 10th of March, please. Yeah, go ahead.
What about, I have a location, like over on Washington Park, where we had taken down 2 trees. Just for, you know, they were dead.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't take, at that time, the weather was so bad, we couldn't take the stumps out.
Well, we've been stumping. Actually, if you'll notice, the guys have been doing a real good job. They removed another 10 today. So we are moving forward with that.
Okay, I'll check it.
Right,
check
and
it out.
then really, when we determine this, we want to make sure that we don't plant it on top of somebody's sewer coming into their house, because 10 years, 20 years from now, there's going to be a problem. That's why when we do this, I really wanted to be very particular on where we put them and how we work this, because I want them to be there forever, not, you know, I don't want to have to take them down because a utility company has to rip open my parkway or, all right, I mean, I'm trying to really be ahead of the game, so.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know you said you had a list of the trees, there's a list, and I know that I've had several trees in my ward that were taken down because of the ash. The whole subdivision came through,
Right.
took them all down. But my question, well, I have 2 questions. Can you replant where the trees were taken out if they were stumped, you taking a stump out?
What we'll end up doing probably is, we got a new excavator last year, and we have a auger that's quite big. So what we'll end up doing is if we took a stump out, odds are we'll probably put it right next to
next to it.
So it'd be really close to. Like I say, we want to make sure that we're not placing it over anybody's, sanitary, because what's going to happen is, it may not be this year, it may be 20 years from now, and a lot of people have that problem, where the trees were planted, even in their own front yard. And when we do the front yard plantings, starting next fall, it'll be the same criteria. I really don't want to plant it right on top of where their storm or sanitary sewer is going to be. We'll put it off to one side or the other. It'll only be so far off the parkway, so to speak. And, and the nice part about this is they basically have to adopt a tree. This brings people into ownership, which is nice.
Right. The other question I had was, I know several trees in my ward were taken down because they were not the proper tree in the beginning to put in a parkway, because the roots came up and disrupted the sidewalks and all that stuff. So are we going to be putting the right tree
That's
in
what
the parkway
the
so that we don't have
the
that?
arborist or the arboretum people are coming in to look at the location, and they'll determine basically what trees need to go where.
Okay.
So it won't be up to the resident say, oh, I want that tree. It'll basically be them to decide because of those criteria, the things that we put forth, okay?
What type of tree?
On what type, you'll see the ones that they're gonna buy. They're fairly slow growing. The list is here, and it's one of those, they're very nice trees. So, one of them I didn't even know existed. It's very nice. So anyways, yes.
So you said we need 10 public spots, so that includes the parkway, right?
That is the parkway, yes.
So are people going to have to sign this agreement if it's on their parkway?
Actually, what we'll do is we'll come by and make sure it's watered and that for the first year or 2, 3. They can if they'd like. They don't have to sign the agreement. We're maintaining the parkway.
But we can
trees.
ask them to sign the agreement?
If they would like to take care of the trees, yes.
That would make sense, since it's
I
technically...
mean, for us, what it basically boils down to for the 50 trees is we basically water. That's what they'll need for the first few years. And that's why planting at this time of year, when you start planting on 1st of April, you really get a good start on it because you usually get the rains and they go all the way till June. That way it establishes, the tree gets a little bit of an establishment, and it's not so much maintenance at that point in time. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I put a lot into this, if you couldn't tell. So, all right.
Good-looking trees.
Let's see. And now you want to go to the sustainable. Like a presentation for the sustainable update.
That was.
Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maya Dutta, and I am currently an AmeriCorps member serving in the city of Waukegan. I started in mid-October, and I'll be here through early September. So, for those of you who are unaware, AmeriCorps is a voluntary program which places its members in communities with the goal to strengthen and meet the critical needs of that community. Members are generally partnered with local nonprofits or public agencies to fulfill the work pertaining to their organization. Next week is AmeriCorps Week, where the programs are highlighting the work that their members are doing in their communities, so we thought it'd be a great time for me to talk to some people in the city about the work that I've been doing for the past few months with Waukegan and what I plan to continue doing for the next 5 months or so. So the AmeriCorps program that I'm a part of is known as the Greenest Region Corps, and it is created through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, which is a membership organization that the city of Waukegan is a part of, and it coordinates similar efforts between the suburbs and Chicago and the entire Chicago region. There are about 12 of us in the Corps, and we all are located in different suburbs. And my Greenest Region Corps is basically partnered with the environmental initiatives portion of the Metropolitan Mayor Caucus. So my role here through AmeriCorps is to be working on the city of Waukegan on implementing different sustainability initiatives. So I'm really excited to talk to you all about the kinds of stuff the city has been doing. First, I wanted to define sustainability initiatives because I know it's a little bit of a vague term. And so generally, it's work that aims to benefit our natural resources, economy, and human health. And that's also a broad definition, and that's because the work it encompasses is pretty broad as well, but it should become more clear as the presentation goes on. So one of my main projects during my time here in the city is putting together the city's first ever sustainability plan. So this plan is going to be highlighting the past and ongoing efforts that the City of Waukegan has been pursuing with sustainability, as well as identifying and prioritizing future areas for implementation in sustainability. Basically, the city will be able to use the sustainability plan as a roadmap as they continue to develop their future sustainability efforts to continue to improve the natural resources here, the residents' quality of life, and so on. So the question may be, how am I going to do this and what is it going to look like? Luckily, I can use some resources that the city previously obtained from commitment to sustainability in the past year or so. And so in February 2018, the City of Waukegan City Council adopted the Greenest Region Compact 2, which is a document through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus. The GRC is a sustainability document that basically outlines common sustainability goals and efforts for the entire Chicago region. There are about 130 other municipalities that have signed on to the GRC. So there are 10 sustainability categories within the GRC, and each of these categories have about 4 or 5 different higher level goals that we want to achieve. So there's climate, which is focusing on climate adaptation and mitigation. There's economic development, which is focusing on sustainable jobs and sustainable goods. There's the energy category, which is focusing mostly on energy conservation and renewable energy. There's land use, which is focusing on preserving our natural resources and native landscaping. There is leadership, which is focusing on local, regional, and national partnership that the city can take in sustainability efforts. Mobility, which is focusing on alternative transportation as well as access to transportation. Municipal operations, which is focusing on sustainability within City Hall. Sustainable communities, which is ensuring that our sustainable efforts are equitable and accessible. Water, which is focusing on water conservation and quality, and then waste and recycling, which is focusing on waste diversion and providing recycling to our community. And so by adopting the GRC, we agreed to pursue efforts to achieve these goals. And as you may probably think, there are a lot of different strategies that we can take to achieve these goals since they're pretty big. And the GRC provides a nice framework that outlines a bunch of different strategies the city can take to achieve these goals. Something I've been doing already is looking at what the city has achieved or is in progress of achieving with relationship to these strategies and then later on these goals. But one big thing is thinking about what goals have we not pursued any strategies in yet, and what strategies are we going to pursue to achieve these goals. And so the question there is then, what strategy is best going to benefit our community and our residents while also achieving these goals? One really important way to understand what will best fit Waukegan and make this a sustainability plan which serves Waukegan the best is understanding what our residents are wanting when it comes to sustainability. So about 2 weeks ago, we put out a sustainability survey on the website, which is about just 10 questions, and it's polling the community on their priorities with sustainability, with categories, and then also their thoughts on sustainability for the present and the future of the city of Waukegan. I'd really encourage everyone to go to the city website or the Facebook page to fill this survey out and also share it with all your networks, because the more feedback I get from this survey will allow the sustainability plan to best represent the residents and the community here, and that's what's most important about this plan, I think. So yeah, combined with the sustainability survey, as well as what the city has already done and the partnerships they've created, and then the interest of the department heads here, that's how I'm creating the sustainability plan. But there are a few other things that I've been doing in the city that aren't related to the plan specifically that I would also like to share. So another initiative I've been working on is energy efficiency in the city. And so I've been working a little bit with the building department to discuss energy codes and ensuring that future development in the city will be energy efficient, as well as potentially incentivizing renewable energy in the city. I've also been looking at the solar installations in the city. So Waukegan is known as a Soul Smart Gold city, and what that means is over the past year or so, Waukegan participated in Soul Smart, which is a national designation program that basically provides technical assistance and streamlines and reduces barriers for residents and other developers to permit solar on their roofs and property. And so by being Soul Smart Gold, Waukegan is super transparent when it comes to permitting solar, and so from what I've looked at so far, since we've become a Soul Smart Gold, we've doubled the number of solar installations in the city, and there are about 150. It's actually 167, so pretty exciting. Another initiative we've been thinking about is Earth Day. So on April 22nd, it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, so we'd like to celebrate that here in Waukegan, potentially have that entire week be Earth Week, and have maybe a couple different events, and then also on the Facebook page kind of talk about the different things that Waukegan has been doing with regards to sustainability. So definitely keep a lookout on our social media regarding Earth Day. And then we've also been looking at the potential for native landscaping in the city of Waukegan, so thinking about beautification as well as stormwater management. So I've been looking at different locations and then identifying grants to apply to so we can have the resources to do so. And finally, something we've been talking about is having a sustainability portion on our website. And so instead of just people knowing because I'm talking about it, I think it's really important for the public to be able to access the information on their own. So the website will serve as a public-facing place where the residents can go to and learn about the stuff the city is doing, learn about, for example, how to apply for solar on their roofs, and then potentially we'll have some educational material as well. So I think it'll be a really important space for people to learn how they can get involved in the initiatives, especially as the city continues to pursue these efforts. So thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate it, and I've had a really good time working here so far, so I'm excited to continue. Yeah, I would encourage you all to fill out the survey and then continue to look at our Facebook and then also the website as we continue to update on sustainability efforts there. And please do not hesitate to reach out to me as well. So thank you.
Do you have any questions for her? No? All right. Adjourn. We need to adjournment.
Adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn? By Alderman Newsom. Second? Alderman Turner. Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Okay, you'll get it.